Welcome everybody, Sketch Zone. I am, and I need singing lessons.
Super extra.
With us this week, y'all, we got he's cool on so many different levels. We're gonna get to that in a second. But welcome, Jose Garibaldi.
Yeah. Charlie's guy there.
Here we go.
Yes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Charlie's here.
I'm back. Did you guys miss
Back
me?
again. That's
We did.
I've been busy. It's crazy.
Hey, that's funny because last week we talked about the very topic of people saying they're busy.
we did.
And it wasn't because of you. I
Oh.
started it. I was like, I've been busy, and then I caught myself, and I'm like, I hate it when people say that.
But why? If it's true.
Well, you should go listen to last week's show.
That's right. You missed a good one.
I go back and check that out, and I'll never sit again. I've been doing things.
I know. I saw. I heard.
Yo, rooftop deck. Amazing.
Hey, that's Jack.
That's me. Hi, I'm here.
I know that there's people watching, and for some reason the live chat is not working. So hopefully that's just a little hiccup that's happening.
You're in.
I'm gonna try it on mine. We'll make sure we got it going.
Try it on mine too.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Hey, so how's everyone doing?
Well,
I was kidding.
Everyone's busy.
No, it's insanely hot here. I'll start off by that. It's ridiculously hot that I know Chicago is doing this on purpose, so they can, I want to say a really bad word, in a couple months. I know that's what it is. Do you know how hot it was today? Somebody take a guess.
85.
Higher.
8.
Nope.
107.
92.
92.
No, tomorrow's 92. Today was 87. Yesterday was like 90.
Told you it was 87.
That's enough.
And then it's going to be in the 80s and upper 80s until next Wednesday. It'll cool off on Wednesday because it'll rain, and then we drop down into the 60s. So somebody's getting sick next week.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it was 90 degrees yesterday. I grilled yesterday. You know how hot it is to grill at 9 o'clock at night over a really hot new grill, and it's still 90 degrees outside? I felt like it was noon. It was weird.
We're all gonna die.
Is that weird?
Soon.
Oh, and I heard on the radio, Chicago is the number 8 most safest city to live in from natural disasters. So you guys were just
For national disasters?
where like world disasters, like big disasters. They
Yeah,
cite
that's a reason to come back.
the
Yeah.
snowpocalypse, but that doesn't really count. But Jack, if you're like
There's no
underwater,
water?
Snowpocalypse.
snowpocalypse in
Oh.
2012, that big snowstorm, they
That's
cite that
Everyone was running out of gas on Lakeshore Drive.
That's not going to happen in Chicago.
That is.
What?
That's gonna happen in Chicago in about 3 months.
What? The snow again?
That's just winter. That's not snowpocalypse.
No. The one in 2012 was like
I know, man, but
something
that's
It's
extra.
normal
That
weather.
was like some storms and some tsunamis all happening. That's not going to happen in Chicago.
Yeah. None of
This-
that's gonna happen.
This just in: the Cubs beat the Brewers in 10 innings, 5-3.
Are you really giving that
I
up?
can stop. I can stop biting my nails now. Moving on.
I don't know. Your team's been like
My team has been just fine.
they're doing great, but
My team is just
can
fine.
we get some technical ball there a little bit? Seems like all right. Somebody get a home run so we can hit 5 of them in a row after that, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, that's exactly how it worked tonight too.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
So hey, speaking of really cool things to make us feel good about ourselves,
Okay.
last week we had a fun prompt.
The Roomba.
And last week's fun prompt was futuristic Roomba.
Sure was.
So,
Was that the first one? Was that the first pick?
No.
You guys
we never take the first one. The first one sucks.
Oh, so this is the new thing now? You just won't take the first one? I said to myself, that had to be a second pick.
It was the second one.
I think
it was.
the first one was completely hideous. I don't even remember what it was.
It was dumb.
Speaking of artists from Chicago, Jose, do you ever get into like all these social media art
drawing challenges?
Not too much. I did a little bit of Inktober sometimes, and I'll get maybe a week, 2 weeks into it, and then it kind of falls apart.
Yeah.
So, that's because everyone's busy. Like we keep saying it.
Yeah, staying active.
Yeah.
So now
everybody's active.
It's true.
Everybody's active these days.
I like that. Everybody's active.
I'm active.
There it is.
So last week, Sketch on Fun prompt was futuristic Roomba. Yet again, my hero, Shiloh. He's got a
that's like an evil magic genie.
Yeah. Why is he chilling on a pillow? He can't be cleaning the room.
Why not?
Then you got
the evil refrigerator.
It's like a mafia. It's like some kind of a mafia movie. Like everybody knows kid, except the kid.
This kid's living in like a Pee Wee Herman appliance. Like,
so if you read the description, it says, surely it's only a matter of time before things take over. And I think that's the thing. Like everything has its own AI. So I bet you this Roomba is about to whoop that dude's ass for making a mess.
like no, you get it.
I get it. Yeah, the Roomba's taking a nap on his pillow while the kid is forced to clean it up. Got it. He's spotlighting it. See, the kid's got the broomstick, and the Roomba's just like
right there.
Get to work, kid.
And then he's like, they try to tell him to get in the closet afterward. Now you go lay in the closet.
That's right. Poor guy.
It's a weird mafia vibe. Like the refrigerator is clearly the big muscle.
Hey, I know that artist.
This was mine. Since everything is AI and everything is non-GMO, everything has to be completely natural. They're going to take someone and turn that person into a Roomba.
That's creepy. That's like nightmare stuff.
And then we can talk about yours. You're like straight up taking over planets.
Yeah, your Roomba grew. Like how did it get so big?
Hey, future man, that's the future.
It's the future.
Speaking of which, this one was badass too.
Yeah,
Landon Wilson chimed in.
See, he did the spaceship thing too.
Yeah,
we were vibing.
He got this one done today actually. His is like legit. It's got texture to it. It's got like he did a
car is falling apart.
It's like he drew it and then painted it.
Look at this person on the bottom right. It's like their skin and their clothing is getting like ripped off their body as they're getting sucked up by a Roomba.
Oh yeah, they're never coming back.
No. So I think
it's not one of those things where you see them on National Geographic afterwards.
Yeah, I'm glad Landon is starting to jump into, because have you guys seen he's drawing on his phone and killing it?
That's his phone drawing?
I don't know if he did that one on his phone, but he posts some images that he did on his phone. Here, I'm going to share my screen again. Landon gets some free airtime right here.
That's cool.
So yeah, a lot of these here are done on the phone, except the ones that are in paper, obviously, because
those are not on paper.
But like this one here, this is probably done on his phone.
Using what?
Another sketch I did on my phone.
How's he do that on his phone?
I don't know.
What's he using? Yo, show a picture.
He could probably make phone calls off his laptop.
Yeah, that's what it's right. Phone.
Yeah. Phone.
Because I'm trying to think, like, is he using like a stylus? Like one of those I hope you're not using one of those stylus for the phone that got the big, huge rubber tip. They're like huge. So it's like drawing one of those big, huge crayons.
Yeah. I think he's got a Galaxy Note or something like that. Oh, there we go. I think the chat.
Are you grumbling at the Galaxy Note?
I hate Android. That shit's like not good. until they like get wise and combine all of their like ice cream sandwiches and junk food OSs into one big huge one, then they'll actually be good.
Nobody wants a jelly bean strawberry pie.
Right. And then someone else want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and like some other people want like, you know, blueberry pie. Like, come on, just unify that shit. Like, put it together and then you'll be good. Because then it's like, if you got like Metro Plus PCS, whatever Android phone, you guarantee that OS is not like the one you get with from Verizon's like Galaxy Note 8 or whatever. It's just I had to do a VR project for a Android, and I had to have other people show me how to run the thing. I was like, I don't know where this is. It keeps vibrating at me, and I'm not sure how to get to the program. So I'm hoping they get better. But I think they do good because Google's good. They're big enough. They just need to like combine. So when if they combine,
that's just powerful. Like, that's the reason why people get mad at Apple, because they're saying, "Oh, you control it too much." Well, now you understand why some control is good.
Yes. Let's look at the bigger picture here. You want to beat Apple or be not just a number 2 because you're big enough to be number 2, but legitimately be a second option. I will never buy an Android phone.
Jose, are you Android or iOS?
I'm actually making the switch. I'm Android now, but I got an iPhone coming.
See,
iPhone 8.
That man's smart.
Yeah, son.
He going in right now.
Welcome.
The bloatware on the Samsungs.
Right?
Yeah.
This stuff you never even use. It's like it's like Windows from like 95.
Yeah.
And they probably hate Windows.
Anytime you bought a compact back in the day, you would have so much useless garbage on there.
You have 5 different types of calculators that you would never
like
and for some reason
ball games that only let you play for 30 seconds each.
Yeah. And then you'd have like some net zero account that you already pay for really good internet, but you have like a trial version of that like expires when you don't know it. And try to charge you. Like
it's so slow.
Cool. What was I gonna say? I'm almost afraid to ask it. Well, how about we do this? I'm gonna write down a note because we have to get the art prompts, because Dave Etsy, I know, is in the chat room, and
he's chomping at
he needs as much lead time on these drawings, because he's one of those people that is really busy too. No pressure, Dave.
Oh, is he asking us to get to the art prompt? Yo,
no,
Dave,
that was me. That was me.
Okay,
that was me.
Sorry, Dave.
All right, so I'm shuffling the official.
All right, while you're shuffling,
Sketch Zone font prompt cards.
Let's go to the canvas here and let's get started.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Yeah. All right. I shuffled the cards. I'm laying them out.
It's so abrupt.
Mr. Jose Garibaldi from Dreamworks TV. Please, my friend, from Chicago too.
Mm-hmm.
I have to remember to. We're gonna get to that. Please pick a number 1 through 5.
4.
4. 4 is a character.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Etsy, don't let us down.
What's for you?
And the winner is this is probably a good one.
First time we're taking the first one.
First one? Okay.
A mermaid taking her pet fish on a swim.
Yo, that's not even right.
Yes.
That's not even right on so many levels.
I like it.
That's it. Do we even want to tempt fate?
Yeah. I have a weird.
You good with that one?
You could. Well, because if you read the other one, you can't do the first one, right?
Unless we say no matter what, this is the one that we're doing. I mean, if we just want to be nosy, I'm good.
I think Jack's good. He's not saying anything.
Let's roll with it. I'm good.
You might get a doozy for the next one.
All right. So get to work, Dave Atsy.
Yo.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Dave Atsy he's been drawing. Oh, look, I really like the brush engine in this Procreate app. Oh, okay. So now we're expecting to see a mermaid taking her fish on a swim, no pressure.
Did it say taking a fish on a swim or a walk?
Swim. Because it's a mermaid and they swim.
I had a really weird picture where like both the mermaid and fish are just on the side.
Could you imagine they're just flopping down the street?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I thought.
Hey, I'm not,
the real morbid, like.
Actually,
oh, then you can get in trouble.
That gives me a really good idea for one. All right, I got the sketch down. Speaking of Dave Atsy drawing a mermaid taking her pet fish on a swim in Procreate on his iPad and Apple Pencil.
Wow.
Hey, Jack, have you gotten Procreate yet?
Wow. That's not even cool that you did that.
Hey, Savage, get it together.
That's savage. Why did you do that?
How are you going to announce
Savage not so interactive?
And like withhold it from me when everybody else is drawing on this stuff, talking, look at this new brush engine, look at the wet brush, look at this. And here I am in the App Store like every 10 minutes hitting refresh.
I mean, why can't you get it?
I don't know. And I went up on their Instagram account and I said, hey, it's not available for me. And they're like, yeah, it's going to take 24 hours to propagate to all the regions. Well, it's been like 72 hours and it's still not available for me.
So now what's funny is if you go on Instagram and watch their, the little video stories that they have up on top, they actually have your message on Instagram and they're all pointing at it laughing.
Oh, for real?
No.
I was excited, actually.
I can get this for the phone, right? How much is it?
It's not on the phone. Only on
iPad?
No. It is on the phone.
It is?
Yeah. I just got the new OS 11.
What's cool is, and this is why these guys deserve way more money than they probably have gotten so far. They have the iPad version. Actually, before I go, Jose, have you played with Procreate, iPads, any of that?
Yeah, a little bit. I have an iPad Pro.
Yeah, son.
I actually like that in terms of any type of tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Working with the tablet, 'cause I'm used to like working with a keyboard in Photoshop. So I didn't like Sketchbook Pro or any of those other ones. So it was pretty nice.
Yeah. Crap. What?
I don't know. You were congratulating them how much money they should get.
Yes, that's what. So they obviously have the iPad version, but then they have the iPhone version.
Procreate Pocket.
Yeah. And get this, they have, and I know I've mentioned this in the past, but they have the Apple Watch version too that works with the phone version. So with the phone, all you have is your canvas, and on your watch, you can actually select the different colors that you're painting with.
That's real extra.
Sick.
Is it?
Oh, dude. Especially if you get the iPhone 8 is like what, 12 by 18?
Yo. Can we did you update your iPhone?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. I've been liking it.
No, then you've already updated. I'm just seeing all the new.
Yeah, no. It's really cool. I like the subtle things that they're doing with it too. Like
you read stuff so much easier. Like the typography on it's like way better.
Yeah.
Podcast section and stuff. Our stuff looks nice on you too.
Yeah. It's good stuff, dude.
Looks like I can get it, Jack. I'm sorry, man. I don't know.
There's something is
just try to get the phone version, Jack. Just get the phone.
They messed up. That's what they did.
Or don't. Once you get the iPad version, that's it. It's just call it.
Yeah, this pocket one looks cool. I just don't know how anybody's making these beautiful pictures with just their finger. Or a stylus. I gotta get one of those styluses, I guess.
Yeah. What's up? Adonit has styluses that work with your phone. Okay.
What's it called?
Adonit. Adonit.
Adonit.
Yeah. That's really cool styluses. So Jose and I met in a really neat way. I actually got his contact information from a friend of the show, Ryan Brockmeyer. He is the director for Midway Documentary, midwaydocumentary.com. And he reached out and he was asking me if I knew Jose because of something really cool that Jose did. I'm going to let Jose pick up the story from this point because I'm interested in learning about this too.
All right.
Jose.
Well, I was interested in the Midway documentary. We have like a lot of mutual friends that are in it, like Sean Doe, Pugs Adams. I was friends with a lot of people.
You know Sean Doe?
Yeah, from when I used to live in Chicago.
Yeah, dude, that's my brother.
Yeah, nice. And he and so I was like, oh man, I gotta donate or I gotta help out, contribute to the documentary. Went to the Patreon page and I became a patron. And Ryan hit me up after that, and then he asked me if I knew you or Jack, who worked at Dreamworks TV. Like, no, I don't. And they're like, yeah, they did this podcast, and he set everything out through email. That same day, like the same day that did it.
That's very cool. Well, so number one, I know that Ryan wants to thank you. We've talked about it on the other radio show. So I speak for the entire team when I say thank you. It's hard to do an entire documentary, and as many people as, and I'm in California, so I'm like a satellite. I don't have as much hands-on time as they do. But it's crazy how there's over 200 people are interviewed. And this is without a budget. Like we have zero money going into it. So everyone is just like eating cheese sandwiches, just pushing money towards the project, trying to get this thing done. But so it's helpful when folks like you just come in and help. That's very cool.
It's awesome. I can't wait to see it too, because I mean, it's just, there's such a good scene there that I feel like got overlooked because there's always New York, there's always West Coast, So it's such a strong scene there, and the world should hear about it and discover these great artists.
Yeah, definitely. So then, so you're originally from Chicago?
Yeah, born and raised just south of the city.
Yeah. So you're I'm assuming White Sox fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. We forgive you. You can't win them all.
I don't really follow baseball too much, but I stick with the home team.
Yeah.
But I was proud of the Northsiders last year.
Yeah.
There's always Bears and Bulls.
Yeah. They're
to unite
it's
us.
an uphill climb with those guys too. We were going to talk about that on Midway Radio, and everyone just we're like, hey, how about those bears and bulls? And everyone's head just dropped down. We're like, all right, we're going to change the subject. Everyone's sad.
Yeah. There's always the 90s and the 80s.
Yeah. There's only so many times you can hang your hat on the 85 win, though.
Right.
We're ready for some more.
Yeah, they just suck right now.
It's brutal.
They're not good.
Sorry. All right, so let's talk about you. You're in Chicago. How did you get into art?
Oh, I just been doing it since I was a kid. My mom used to buy me comic books, Mad Magazine. She was always showing me cartoons that she loved when she was a kid. So a lot of Rocky and Bullwinkle, a lot of Mighty Mouse, a lot of old cartoons that they used to rerun, Bugs Bunny, things like that. And Mad Magazine, Crack Magazine, and later like Marvel Comics and stuff. So, all kinds of animation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever get yelled at for watching cartoons, too many cartoons and stuff, or was she pretty supportive with all that stuff?
Yeah, she was really supportive. She would introduce me to cartoons like from when she was a kid, and when they would come on reruns on TV, then she would point them out. She's like, "Oh, check this show out. Check that show out."
Yeah.
So she really, yeah. Same with Mad Magazine. She's the one who, bought my first copy of it for me. Taught me how to read with it.
We hear that all the time. People or people like parents tricking kids into reading, tricking kids into reading by getting them some comic books.
By warping their minds.
That's what happened to me. I was like, yeah, I'm reading a lot.
Don't ask about what the content is. Just I'm reading.
Right. It's reading.
Yeah.
So your mom was pretty supportive. Were you always drawing as a kid and always pursuing the arts, or was it a situation where maybe they're like, all right, cute. It's cute that you draw, but how about, learning to be a mechanic?
No, never. I never got that at all. That's where I lucked out. They never said anything about any type of plan B or anything. They just like, keep going with it. And I was lucky enough to make a career out of it.
Amazing. At what point in your life, do you remember the point where you realized that there was actually a path to getting to where you are today?
Probably maybe like late middle school, early high school kind of stuff. Because I started going to comic book conventions around that time. So then, starting to see working professionals in that and starting to ask questions and wondering how to break in. So that's what I really wanted to do was comic books.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever start your own comic book ideas? Did you ever follow up with any of that at all?
Well, I did when I was in high school. Still, I used to photocopy, like Xerox, my own comic books.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Stay up, my stapler, staple it together. Go to
pass them out.
Pass them out. Yeah.
Like professionals, and they'd be encouraging. They weren't the greatest, but they'd be really nice about it. Sometimes they'd even trade me some of their stuff for it. But yeah, it was, I did that probably from the age of 15, 16 until I was about 21. And then that's just when I started working professionally as an artist.
Nice. I want to stay on the comic book for one hot second. Did you write your stories or did you get help?
No, I wrote them. Drew. Sometimes I'd get other friends to help me out, maybe like contribute a story or to ink some panels or whatever. or help me sell them at the conventions. You know, I used to do conventions around the Midwest, so like Detroit and Chicago, pretty much. Just going to conventions and setting up tables.
That's pretty badass. And how old were you when you started doing that?
16.
You were 16, setting up tables at conventions.
Yeah. Yeah. First it was local, like just a little, because I grew up pretty much just south of Chicago and next to Indiana. And so they had like little collector shows in Indiana. And I'd set them there, you know, or trade them for you know, stuff like Sin City or real comic books.
So how did you get into the conventions? I mean, did you have any issue at such a young age? You just like showed up, or you paid the fee, or like they didn't, like how did all that work?
Well, I used to, I mean, yeah, at first I paid the fee, you know, went in as you know, convention goer. And then there was like a local comic publisher. It was really, really small. But I started doing some artwork for them. And that's when I got my first professional badge when I was 18. And ever since then, I would just, you know, get pro badges to go to these conventions.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. That stuff never came out. Yeah, you know, I did work for them, but they just never ended up publishing it.
I'm going to share my screen so we can take a look at your dog and your work while we talk.
He's sleeping now.
This picture here is one of the reasons why I knew that we were going to get along.
He's almost
listening. Go ahead.
Oh, I'd say he's almost in that same exact position right now.
Yeah. If you're listening on iTunes, follow Jose. If you go to Instagram.com/Cluepack, CLUEPAC, you'll see a picture of his dog. His dog is this smaller white dog wrapped up in a little donut, and right next to it, he's got Hostess donuts, and they look scarily the same.
Yeah.
Look, yeah. Who's a good boy? I know Dave Atsy's probably chomping at the bit to get to this part, but we're gonna wait.
Withholding.
We're gonna wait. So you're in Chicago. You're 16. You're selling comic books at comic book conventions. You have the support of your family. Did you ever go to art school at all?
I went for a year to American Academy of Art. So I went there from 96 to 97.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't afford to go back.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
You're smart enough to drop out. I was dumb enough to stay in, and I just paid off my school loans like last year.
Oh.
Haven't seen the inside of a classroom in about 18 years.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean, you know, for the next couple of years, probably 19, yeah, so for about the next 2 years, it was just, you know, doing janitorial work, working in fast food, working at Office Max. And then I got a job in Chicago in the city, and it was like a software company. You know, I didn't have any computer experience, and they hired me just right off my portfolio.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
You got hired by a technology company for a creative portfolio?
Yeah, it was a kid's software, right? It was going around the classrooms, and they installed their own software into these classrooms.
Okay.
And in the beginning, we did animation, we did character design, we did pretty much everything. You know, like icons and graphics and things like of that nature. But you know, we were no computer experience. A bunch of Art Institute kids had started it, and yeah, we learned so much in that first few years.
Was that your first art gig?
Yeah, so that was my first art gig.
Official art gig?
Yeah, and I was there for 8.5 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
was pretty awesome.
What was that like? Like explain your first, like landing that first art job, and like just explain that, and then kind of tell us how you broke the news to your mom and said, yeah, we made it.
It was amazing, you know, because I had friends that were still at the American Academy. They were looking for work. They're trying to get work. I had been trying to get work for the previous, year, at least, really trying to get work.
Sure. In the creative industry.
Yeah. So there was some small animation studios there that I was trying to get into. Didn't happen. And so it was weird. It was by chance. I happened to be downtown with a friend of mine, and I didn't feel like going downtown. And it was him and his girlfriend. And we stopped into the art store, and he pulled one of the little pull tags from the little bulletin board. He handed it to me. Hey, call these guys. And so we called them up. We went down, showed my portfolio. I'm like, I don't have computer experience. I didn't know how to use any, the only thing I'd use is maybe, stuff in high school to type up papers.
Right.
But I had no shop experience or anything. So, I really lucked out. I learned on the job, then breaking the news to my mom. I don't know. I think I just called up that I got a job. Artist. Yeah.
She's like, sweet, dinner's on you.
Yeah. Take us out to eat. I was already out of the house at that point, but I was, just struggling to pay the bills.
Look at this. Jose's calling people out.
If anybody messaged me, you get free stickers.
If you're listening on iTunes, it's a drawing, and it says your style is played out. Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is. I like it.
You have a lot of ink drawings, and I don't see a lot of like what do you call the sketching part, the pencil sketches?
Pencil sketches? I don't
first you pencil and then you ink. What's the technical term for the sketching part? Not foundation.
The roughs? Sketching?
Blockout?
No, it might be something as simple as roughs. I don't know what I'm trying to.
We don't either.
Roughs. I don't see the roughs. You just go straight in with the ink pen.
No change.
For my sketchbook stuff, I do like this right here is just straight in my sketchbook. Don't really sketch in my sketchbook in pencil. Been trying to get back into it a little bit, but if it's for a finished piece, then I'll sketch. Like for this, I know I'm pretty sure I sketched that out in pencil. And then did it in Illustrator.
Is that a sticker?
No, it was for a flyer for a Chicago event. And this was sketched out.
Those look like the stickers you could put on the back of your car, like peeking out of the back window.
Nah, that looks like stickers that you can get at Sticker Mule.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting rid of. All my stickers now is Sticker Mule.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
I catch them on sale, and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
I actually never made stickers until a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
they do a good job.
Excuse me?
So what prompted the stickers? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Go ahead, Charlie.
I was just asking what prompted you to start doing stickers.
It's something I wanted to do, and I was just like, oh, I should get stickers made, and then I just never did it. Mm-hmm. And then I signed up on Sticker Mule, and then they'll send out like, hey, here's $30 for 50 stickers, 3-inch stickers or whatever.
Right.
So up on that, get some artwork that I already have, and do that. So I've been getting those, handing them out.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
They come out really nice too.
Yeah.
I was walking around CTN last year, just leaving stacks of stickers all over the place.
Oh,
like these are super cheap. I just left a bunch of Sketch Zone stickers all over the place.
Start tagging stuff with stickers. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. And then I saw them in the trash can.
Do the same.
Have you ever been to CTN?
I haven't. I had friends that were talking about setting up this year. I have to go in and just, hey, bud. Sorry, getting riled up over here. Herman, come on, buddy.
Somebody woke him up.
Yeah, some dog's barking outside.
You probably know the dog. He's like kind of going off him. You know, good one not to come around here after now.
It's late. I'm sleeping.
But he talks a big game when he's inside. And
Muckman.
Oh, he's one of those dogs.
Yeah, he's a little tough guy. He's only 11 pounds. He's a little wiener
dog. I had a wiener dog and Chihuahua mix growing up.
Yeah.
His name was Carmel. Yeah.
Carmel?
He was vicious. Yeah, inside though. But then his older age, he started getting like aggressive. I'm like, dude, you're not that big. You're getting aggressive when you're outside. Like, your dog's bigger than you, man.
You need to learn some other skills.
Right? Like,
it's all fun and games until he takes out the nunchucks, start whipping people's ass.
Yeah, right.
Then you have to explain that one.
He's like, you can get some too. I was like, wait, calm down.
So check out this drawing. I think this is hilarious.
Thanks. Yeah.
Been there so long.
Picture. If you're listening on iTunes, it's a marker rendering or a cartoon of Jose and his desk. I'm assuming at work because there's a big ass Cintiq and there's spider webs coming down.
Like he's just been there.
Onto his head.
He's been there all
day.
It was both work and home. It was both. So it was just a combination of both places.
Yeah.
9,000.
So how'd you make the leap from software art to what you're doing now?
So while I was doing the software art, I got into comic books, and I did a comic book two comic books for Oni Press, which published Scott Pilgrim, another great book. And then from there, I did work at Dark Horse Comics.
Oh.
This is all freelance. I worked with Paul Dini from Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
He had a book called Jingle Bell. It was a Christmas book. And so I illustrated 4 issues of that for Dark Horse Comics. So I was doing, and then I started doing Mad Magazine stuff around then too.
That had to be a little surreal because you said you read that growing up, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I got an email from them, and then I got on the phone with them, and I was just dumbstruck. I didn't know what to say to them.
Nice.
Because the art director was one of my favorite artists when I was growing up. So it's just
even more so, yeah.
I still get like that. This is from Mad Magazine, from the Mad Kids. So that's the stuff I was doing around that time, 2005, 2006.
Nice.
Thanks.
I like it.
I think that's awesome.
Thanks.
Is that Photoshop or Illustrator?
That is Photoshop.
Nice.
Pre-Cintiq, so it's scanning this drawn and colored in Photoshop.
Sure. Yeah, I was talking to some dude, Jack, you probably heard this story. I was talking to this guy, his artwork was amazing. And I was like, dude, how are you doing this? He's like, oh, just with the mouse. I was like, what? You are working that mouse. Couldn't find out he was stealing people's artwork.
Oh, for real?
Oh, no wonder he said a mouse. Oh, man.
Click and drag artwork.
Yeah, for sure with the mouse. Right click, save.
Actually, he's just telling the truth, huh?
That's my friend Joel. I'm working on a new book with him. He's from Aurora, Illinois.
Ah, my brother lives there.
He's a beekeeper, alderman, writer, musician.
You say beekeeper?
Yeah. He's got like.
He's an alderman too.
Tattooed on his arm.
Yeah, he's got the honeycomb there. He sent me a bottle of honey from his latest batch.
Sick.
Those dudes are just cool dudes when you meet people like that.
That's what happens when you let kids grow up and not focus on anything. They do everything.
They just make honey.
They make honey. That's not enough. I'm going to run for office.
Yeah. I need to be alderman so I can ensure my honey making is. No.
And he's something
that's cool.
From the hip hop rap scene in Chicago too. Like he was keyed into that.
Oh, no way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's cool. Now we have someone else to reach out to.
So where were we? You went from working as a creative on kids software to working on comic books and stuff?
Yeah, well, I was freelancing for the comic books, and then day job with the software, and then from that job, I went on to another company that did just creative services for different clients. So our big client was Hasbro, so I got to work on a lot of cool Hasbro stuff. Littlest Pet Shop, My Little Pony, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Tonka, Stretch Armstrong.
Oh wow!
So there was a lot of cool stuff there at that company, and I was there
Were you doing concept art for them?
I was doing quite a bit of stuff because I was the only in-house artist there.
Oh,
everybody else was freelancers. So
that's why you had the spider webs coming off your head.
Yeah. So there'd be concept art, like Illustrator, design, packaging art. Did packaging art for Baby Alive. There was a Littlest Pet Shop game, so I'd do graphics for the game. Storyboard stuff for like these My Little Pony shorts.
Nice.
Yeah,
they really did. They really did get their money's worth.
Yeah, I hope so.
You weren't even close to union.
No. And even did creating some original concepts for them too, as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so I kind of like doing a little bit of everything. It was always fun.
Yeah.
Kind of a short attention span that way.
I hear you. Yeah. So then, what happened after that? After being overworked.
So, my girlfriend at the time and I decided, like, let's move to LA. So, we looked for an apartment. We came out for Comic-Con in 2010, and we found
in San Diego
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And while we were out here on the West Coast, we found an apartment. Trying to hook up a job. Had some people promise offers for jobs. So we already had our apartment. Went back, quit my job. Gave them my notice. Moved to LA. Got married along the way.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Married along the way, and then
along the way, along the way as you were moving to LA.
Like literally, yeah. Stop in Vegas.
Like Vegas, like Vegas.
You guys have somewhere in Ohio, and
that'd be you going the wrong way.
I mean, yeah, good point.
What's that?
My geography was completely backwards.
He flipped it.
Yeah, I did.
It's okay.
I meant to say New York. No, just kidding.
I was like, wait, what?
Did you stop in Vegas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Boy. Attaboy. Save your money. You got rent to pay.
And then, and then we got to LA, and then there was no work for a while. Just like, okay, well, I was being promised, that there was going to be an offer for a job, you know, and I should mention too that maybe about a year or 2 years before that, I linked up with these agents.
I want you guys to look at that right there. I want you guys to look at that right there. Yeah, boy, I knew we were going to get along right off the bat.
No, you shouldn't have showed that.
I'm proud of all Cub fans, and was a sole White Sox guy.
Cool.
Very cool. All right, so we derailed you, or I derailed you.
Yeah.
So you got married in Ohio. No, just kidding.
In Las Vegas, Ohio.
Las Vegas, Ohio. It's a great city.
Stays in Ohio.
They renamed it since then.
Yeah.
They renamed the entire state.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get there. Some jobs that were promised, were they full-time jobs or were they contract? They
were contracts. You know, we had saved up enough, a bit of money, but it was really coming close to the end of that.
Yeah.
And and then finally the job that I was promised, it just got kind of caught up in paperwork and you know, trying to sort out a deal. But it worked out. It was for an animation studio.
Oh, cool.
In Hollywood called 6 Point Harness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing character layout for a Tom Hanks show, which is pretty cool. It was like a web show.
Huh.
Tom Hanks show.
Yeah. It was like this.
Did that end up getting produced?
It did. It did. It was on Yahoo's screen, I think. It was a Yahoo deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just web only. And
using Flash?
Yeah, it was Flash, which I hadn't used in years at that point.
People forget.
Yeah, and I had to jump back on like
Never forget Carlos.
Never forget Carlos.
Come back, Flash. My grip is getting tired.
That's a t-shirt. Never forget. It's got the
Adobe Flash. Macromedia Flash.
Oh, Jack, you took my... I don't say, but it's the Macromedia logo. That's what I was saying. Never forget. And then or another shirt could be the Freehand logo.
We were here.
Oh, yeah, Freehand.
It would be like, we were here first.
That's enough.
You know it's true.
Well, that was back in the day. Like, there was a lot of people doing some really cool stuff with animation when Flash was, before Flash got like super techy, everyone was coming out with some really good entertainment.
Yep.
Like there was some guys were working on this, I think it was an octopus or a squid or something, but it was a cooking show. And they were working on, like, it would give you recipes. The squid would give you recipes and show you how to cook it. And you can click on the links and it would take you to the different parts. Of, you know, you want to buy this frying pan? Here's a link, right? So they're trying to push it that way. So there was a lot of, I don't understand why people hate Flash as much as they do. That shit brought the internet.
It all went downhill when you started
to where we are today.
Using Flash without opening Flash.
Yeah. Like, used it to start make my first websites. I remember using it. It was good for that.
I think everybody did.
Yeah. So explain the difference between what you were doing in Chicago and then working on this cartoon. Is your like ramp up period kind of the same? Like when you're brainstorming for, say, a poster or a toy or a layout versus ramping up for a cartoon that you're creating? Does that make sense?
I mean, it is way different because I mean, I hadn't really worked too much in animation. A lot of my stuff was either comic books or illustration. But I was doing character layout, so I was going over the storyboard, the animatics, and then characters in place or doing any background elements that need to be done. So it's basically doing like cleanup.
Okay.
Okay.
And then,
so in layman's terms, for those folks that don't fully understand cleanup,
Cleanup.
Really quickly, what's kind of like the stages of creating a cartoon?
Creating a cartoon. So, I mean, you'd have your script,
Mm-hmm.
you have the storyboards, and then the storyboards would be made into an animatic, which is almost like it's the storyboards fit into a time frame, so you can get an idea of
the flow
of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how it would match up to the dialogue and how it would play out, the timing of it. And from there, I mean, it would go to the animation studios. And so that's where I was working. So I was taking, since we were using Flash, we would have to take the assets that were created of the characters, you know, place them, stage them,
mm-hmm.
you know, according to the boards. And if anything new needed to be drawn, then I would draw that. But it was mostly just placing everything, you know.
And then, so where does cleanup fall into that whole flow?
Just with the, I mean, because since it's Flash, it's already kind of clean. There's other artwork that's like, say they don't have a certain expression, or they don't have a certain hand gesture that's already drawn. I would have to draw that and make sure it matches the style of the show.
Cool. And just I've worked on cartoons for myself, but as far as cleanup goes, back in the day, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but back in the day, what they would do is they would have animators, and you see them on all the old Disney films that they have, where the animators are sitting there with paper between their fingers and they're flipping back and forth and drawing and stuff.
Yeah.
They're just trying to figure out the movement that's happening. And then once they get that movement down on those papers, they hand those papers off to what's considered the cleanup artist, which would then take those scribbles and actually finalize the character's poses in those drawings, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
And then
something.
Depending on whether or not you had a budget or not, it would then go to an inker who would clean it up even further. But as we know, anybody who's read animation history, some shows forego that step, and your cleanup was actually what showed up on, like there's even some high profile stuff. Some Disney went through a phase where they were skipping steps, like Robin Hood. A lot of those lines you see are actually cleaned up pencil lines rather than ink lines.
Oh wow.
And I'll have you know, Robin Hood is probably my favorite Disney movie.
That is my favorite Disney movie, and I love seeing the pencil lines. I love the texture that it produces.
Yeah, it gives it a different feel to it.
Yeah.
And that was only because of budget?
Yeah, Disney was going through that hard. They laid off a bunch of people, and they were trying to, that was the same era, Flintstones and Jetsons was coming out and making stuff on 50 cents an episode. So they were they were trying to compete with that, and so that's why Disney had kind of their A and B team, and they were putting out movies that were effectively reusing as much as possible. I mean, even though Robin Hood is one of my favorites, it has the most reused animation and footage, I think, of any of their movies. It was just like straight up reused characters, totally reused animation. Yeah, but it works. I mean, it worked.
Yeah, I like Robin Hood too. Now I think about it,
I love that movie.
It's got had a lot of cool action. Because I'll be honest, some of the old stuff sometimes it was boring. You know, it was almost like an art piece. Like, what was you watching the other day? Dumbo was like that too for me. I never really liked Dumbo as much. I think I always would fall asleep in it, or just be slow moving for me. You know, but it's awesome animation. But at the same time, it's like the same time. It's like
I didn't.
Go ahead, Jose.
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't watch most of those movies until maybe like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch too many of the Disney movies growing up.
Hey.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I ever told the story, but they were showing Jungle Book. Jungle Book? They were showing Jungle Book in the theater, and it was a doubleheader with backed up to Zorro, one of the Zorro movies that had come out.
Zorro. Nice.
And I went to the movies. It was me, my brother, and my uncle. And my uncle is super cheap and loves movies. So we went to the movies in the morning. And we watched the doubleheader about 4 times back to back to back.
Wow. Wow, that's a movie run for you.
And there was like a parade happening outside. I was like, "Can we go outside?" Like, like, no, we gotta watch it again. I was like, "But we watched it 3 times each."
Wow.
You walk outside and it's blinding. The sun's out.
No, like we went early in the morning. By the time we left,
it was 2 o'clock.
Parade's over with. Like, this is dumb.
The day is gone. It's just over. You can't go outside and play when you get home. It's just
this is adulting. This is stupid.
It's dinner time. Oh man.
All right, so now you're rocking, and you're in the animation industry. Was it everything you expected it to be?
I think so. I think for the most part.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it was just different getting accustomed to just doing like a certain task for that long, because the previous jobs there's this big mix of different things to do, different styles and programs and stuff.
Do they ever tell you to go sit down because like you want to, like where you are now? We'll get to all that, but have you ever been in a situation where they're like, "Jose, relax, dude. you don't have to do it all."
Oh, what? No.
He's like, "Relax, man. Calm down."
He's like, "Oh, I don't. What do you mean? I only have one responsibility." Just got off of this job. I was doing everything.
Yeah. No, it was the same amount of work.
Yeah.
It was just doing the same,
yeah,
type of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this definitely sharpens skills for sure. Whereas before, it's just doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, you're not really getting a good grasp, like a solid grasp on any one thing.
Yeah. And then, how did you end up landing this gig that you're at now?
Well,
actually, was there like a lot of job skipping from one gig to the next gig to the next gig, or was it you were at that one place for a really long time and then things started happening outside of there?
Well, I was there for 8 months.
Nice long
stint. Then, which I stayed on longer. Well, you were breaking up. Sorry.
Oh no, we're listening. It went 8 months, which was longer than you thought.
Yeah, so it was longer than I thought. It was. I thought I was only going to be there for maybe about 4 or 5 months, and then I ended up trying out for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show at the time.
Ah, nice.
Oh, here we go. We're not gonna. Where's Dave?
I like turtles.
So I tried out for that, and then I didn't hear anything for months. Like I took a test, tried it out, didn't hear anything, and then literally it was my last week on this job when I finally went in for an in-person interview. On the job is when I was told that I had the job at Turtles at Nickelodeon.
So
yes.
So let's talk about the tests, because we talk about tests on the show.
I want to hear this. Yes.
The tests are a big thing in the video game world, but let's talk about tests in the animation and design world.
Yeah, it's a controversial topic. The union and all. This test wasn't too bad. I did it in about a weekend. It was just a character design, doing turnarounds of. I think it was just 2 characters right there. I think it was just Shredder and April. And for April, they had an actual design that I had to turn. And for Shredder, it was just really loose concept.
Which is funny because you say it's, it wasn't that bad, but they gave you 2 of the hardest characters.
Yeah, it's not like they gave you Shredder.
Yeah, they give you because everyone knows it's, well, generally speaking, I know I'm completely blanket statementing my butt off right now, but drawing a woman is tougher than drawing a man.
Yep, it's hard as hell.
And then Shredder has all kinds of bling. So
much bling.
Yeah, I love he called it bling.
And it was indecipherable because it was all roughs.
Yeah.
Like it was all just really loose sketches for that. So I'm just like, I didn't know what was what. I was nervous. I had never done any CG designs before. So I'm just kind of trying to, I was just winging it the entire time. Stayed up all night to turn that in. To get that done, turned it in. Because I was flying back to Chicago like the next day, I think.
Whoa.
Wow.
So did they only give you a couple days, or is it a situation that they gave you 3 weeks and you're just like, screw it, I'm gonna do it in 2 days?
I think they gave me a week, but since I was leaving,
okay.
I wanted to get it done and get it in before I left.
Yeah.
And so I think I just spent the weekend on it.
Nice.
Luckily, I guess I did good enough that I was able to get the job.
He's like, yeah, I could do.
So
did you do pencils, or was it like a Photoshop thing?
It was a Photoshop thing.
Okay.
Yes, I did it all in Photoshop. Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear back from them for about 3 months, and so I was just like,
3 months.
Oh,
yeah. I was like,
you're like, dude, I got rent.
What? They straight up, you thought they forgot about you, and then 3 months later,
yeah,
you're like moving back to Ohio to get married.
Go back.
They call you up.
did you say go back to Ohio and get married again?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Thanks for more money. We need an extra income.
Let's do this.
You can put it on your taxes twice if you marry her twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do this again.
But so we're
party.
I'm gonna do this again.
So were you a Turtles fan as a kid? Did you read the comic books or watch the original shows or movies?
I did. I started with the original show, and then once the comics were available, because when I was that age, when the show came out, those comics were like $100.
Yeah, they
a piece. Like I was behind the show, so I had no way to have access to them.
So what was
maybe
it?
A few years.
Sorry, go ahead.
What was that?
No, I said sorry. Go ahead. Don't interrupt you.
Oh no, I was just saying I was able to get some reprints of the comics. So I was a fan of the comics as well.
Because I wanted to ask, like, what was it like I mean, that wasn't your first gig in designer animation, but kind of first big time gig. And what's it like getting onto, I mean, that's a very well established franchise. Like, it's a huge name. It's not, you know, jumping onto Billy Bob the Cat and his dog friend animation that's new that we don't know if it's going to be good or not. What's it like getting onto a reboot of Ninja Turtles?
It was amazing, but it was just like, at first I thought, okay, I'm just going to probably do like incidental characters, background, you know, I'm probably not going to do anything major on this show, but it's still awesome. Like, I'm still on it. I'm still working on it. But it was kind of weird when you would read the message boards and see all the fan outrage.
Yeah.
And that's when the pressure would be on.
So were you designing incidentals, or what was your gig?
I think, you know, I mean, I did do incidentals, but mostly just mutants. Mostly, you know, worked with a lot of the main characters on it. I designed Casey Jones.
Ooh, nice.
With the characters. The Baxter Stockman Fly. I got to do Leatherhead, Metalhead. Some newer, more popular ones like Ice Cream Kitty and Tiger Claw.
Nice.
So were you strictly character design, or did you do other designs? Because I think one of the things that often gets left out of visual development discussions is how many props need to be designed.
Mm-hmm. Talk about it.
And sets, of course.
Charlie's like, finally someone.
Yeah.
On my struggles.
I don't ever hear about it, man.
And not do any sets, didn't do any props unless they were part of the character.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then I would do a prop, but other than that, no props. But I did do a lot of, we used a lot of 2D elements in it. So if there's like a poster in the background, maybe some graffiti, t-shirt designs, like, which were really fun to do because that's when we kind of just got to get more.
Okay, so wait. And I'm sorry for interrupting, but you just said something that I took offense to. You said if they needed graffiti, they called the kid from Chicago.
No, I didn't say that. I
didn't hear that.
I'm pretty sure you said that. Yeah.
Call the kid from Chicago for graffiti. No, it was because it was my art director that was mostly taking all that stuff on, and you know, one day it was just like, man, you know, he's just taking on way too much. So
that's what those art directors do.
Yeah. So then I just, you know, I was like, hey, you know, if you need, you know, I got a clean slate this week. If you need help with anything,
he's like,
yeah. I think he just had a big smile on his face. He's like, really?
He's like, I got stuff for you to do. Sweet.
So how big?
Take this Roomba.
And make it a mutant. So how big was the design team? Like, how many designers were there, and like kind of what was your schedule like in terms of turning around designs?
So for the first 2 seasons, it was 2 character designers. It was pretty much 2 on every team. So it was 2 prop, 2 BG, 2 character designers. And at the time, I think we had 1 week for the smaller characters and 2 weeks for. And do you guys work with credits?
Yes, we do.
So we had 1 credit. You know, we had 1 credit characters and 2 credit characters, which were the more complex ones. So I think at the beginning we had 1 week for the 1 credit characters, the 2 credit characters, but then that kind of increased because the complexity of the characters just kind of went bananas. So there'd be times like we would spend, you know, weeks, 3 weeks on a character, 4 weeks on a character, easily. And then around season 3, I think every team got about 2 new designers, 2 to 3 new designers.
So for listeners who have no idea what we're talking about, credits and all this stuff, and we've talked about this on the show a little bit, but I think it's worth restating and reiterating because there's a lot of you know, you get on these internet discussions and chat room boards and stuff, and people are like, that design of that thing sucks or whatever. Why didn't they just put in, you know, 3 more hours and make it awesome? Or, why didn't they do this or why didn't they do that? But I think one of the important things to remember about, commercial art and commercial products, particularly animation, is you're working with a schedule and a budget. And no matter how cool you want to make it, there's always limitations on that. And so a lot of the studios, it's not ubiquitous, but a lot of the major ones work with the crediting system, which is pretty much just a way of budgeting costs and time. Okay. So they set up this credit system, which is effectively just code words for how many man hours it's going to take. So, each studio is different and each production is different, but you could say like 1 credit is worth, 12 hours of a designer guy's time, 8 hours of a modeling guy's time. If you're doing CG, 8 hours, it's all plotted out like that. So they call it a 1 credit character. Now, if you're building something crazy, so maybe like Michelangelo is 1 credit, but then, you gotta design a Michelangelo in a mech robot suit. Well, that's really complicated. So we're gonna do that, a 2 credit thing. Which basically just allots more time, more design time, more money, more, whatever for that character. And it's just a way of kind of keeping everything on schedule and keeping it on track.
Yeah, it's agile development, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we do it. We do it work and use Jira. And we don't call it credits, we call it points. So we go from 1 to 3,
Yeah. Yeah, and like when I worked in visual effects, it was exactly the same thing, but they didn't use code words. They just straight out called it, man hours. They'd be like, this is 8 man hours, which could, split up 2 hours for a modeler, 4 for whoever, and 2 for, so.
Oh, they did it that way. Wow.
That's the same in software development too.
Yeah.
That's scary to do it that way.
Well, that's why visual effects has got some problems.
Yeah, they lump it all together. Like we do. If I'm doing, we do our poker planning or our planning tomorrow on Fridays. But like if I'm doing it for the next week, if I had to lump it in with the rest of the department, where you account for your other guy, that'd be like crazy. Well, you're only gonna get 2 hours. Yeah.
Especially if you have someone that doesn't understand really. Because let's be real, project managers don't fully understand. Some of them do, but some of them don't. And they can see, this task here is going to be 8 hours. And then they look at you like, they don't fully understand that those aren't necessarily all my 8 hours. Those have to split amongst everyone.
Yeah, maybe that's good being a little bit smaller, because I can be like, you can really go in and pinpoint people like where they have to learn to accurately assess their time. You said this is going to be a 2, which is like, a day to day and a half, and really it should have been a 3. It's kind of cool if you do it in a good way where you can like break it up too. If everybody who's listening for like agile development, it's cool when you can like, if you have good management, I guess, in place or project managers, if they can like say, okay, cool, if it's bigger, we do this at work. If it's bigger than a 3, if I have a 3D artist that I have a task and they have to do a level, and the level's bigger than a 3, for this experience we're doing, then like we need to break it up into smaller chunks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we know that too.
And that's cool. So yeah, when they do that, that's cool. When you do it right, and you don't have the rogue project manager like assessing points and not going to the creative director to see if those points line up with the vision for the rest of the project, and then we align those to everybody else. So just because your stuff is going to take a 3, which is maybe like 2 days or whatever, and doesn't mean that like somebody else's project is not maybe more important. And that's the whole like tricky part. Who gets their stuff done, or how can we compromise? Mm-hmm. How can we break stuff up so that everybody can work on a bunch of different stuff? And that's when it gets hairy, because every project manager wants their stuff worked on, because everybody needs it now. I'm like, you really don't need it now.
True.
So we'll put that in the backlog for next week. And he's like, but we need it. You're not talking to that dude for another week and a half. That means I don't really need to do it yet. because I have this other thing. No, it's cool. No, it's fun. That's the funny thing. But like, I'm being funny. But yeah, I like that. That's cool. So it's called credits, huh? I think we had some questions, Carlos, in the chat.
Can you read them to me? I don't have it open.
Well, so okay, we've got Dave Atsy, #1 Ninja Turtle fan. You know,
I like turtles.
He loves those turtles. He compliments you. He loves Casey Jones' design. He loves that mask. So his main question, I mean, he's got quite a few, but the main one, what's the day in the life of a Vista designer? Like, what's your task life? And since you've had the privilege of working on a CG show and also some 2D stuff, like what's the main difference in feel and vibe between working on the different styles of product output?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder which one is harder. I mean, on one hand, the CG stuff is kind of hard because it's more like engineering rather than drawing. So you're sitting there and you're trying to get everything exact, functional. 2D, it's more of the workload that comes in is a lot heavier. I was like, when I moved to a 2D show, I'm like, oh my god, this is gonna be so much easier than the stuff I was doing. And he's like, nope, like. It's still fun, It's. But
how much of that was hazing though? Like, oh, the new guy's here, give them everything to do. So like you're working your ass off and everyone is playing like darts.
Darts.
Maybe that was maybe I think that was on Turtles.
That's funny.
No, now it's just like we're like the quiet. Everybody's got their head down, headphones in. Everybody's on their Cintiq, plugging away.
I need to get a Cintiq at work. I don't got a Cintiq yet.
So I think, there's like at least when I was in college and, just trying to get into the industry, it was like a lot of people were like, oh, I want to be a character designer, because it's like they got these sketchbooks filled with just random characters and they think it'd be cool to just like come up with some stuff, pull it out of their ass and be like, here, isn't this a great character? Now go make it in animated. But that's kind of not really how it works, right? So like what is the character design process? Like how does it work?
Well, I mean, of course, it's got to match the look of the show, but then you also have to take things into consideration, like how much it needs to animate, or.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Oh, right in the middle of the good stuff.
We lost your internet.
It happens.
That internet.
Every time somebody reveals a secret.
Oh, I'm telling you.
It was Atsy.
Come back.
Damn it, David.
We'll give him a second.
This is super interesting.
Well, I can fill in. Yeah. I can fill in because I'm kind of on the opposite end of this production because I'm animation director, so I'm back end. I sort of am receiving all the stuff that's coming in from designs. I work on a CG show, so the needs and requirements are very different from a 2D show, like he was sort of explaining. And I mean, one of my major roles is reviewing the designs, is exactly like he said. We have to check for how this is going to work with a model. Make sure it's designed in a way that it's not going to produce modeling problems. Like you gotta, stuff like where sleeves lie, you don't want them to, because the big thing to remember in TV is this isn't feature, so you don't have time to get in there and massage every shot and make it look perfect. Because if we had done this in a feature, like we would model that thing, a gabillion polygons, exactly how we want it. And if that sleeve is crashing in 59 shots, we're going to send a modeler in there to shot model every single shot and fix that sleeve because that's how they want it. But in TV,
similarly, let me here real quick. If you're animating in Flash, similar to that is you try to get people to not want striped shirts because the puppet parts don't line up properly.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of design stuff. Like there's a whole, especially with CG, there's a whole technical back end process. Like QC, quality control, and tech, you know, you got to make sure that there's no like color buzzing and aliasing and like blocking and all this stuff. So it's like you want to avoid these like really loud patterns or like reds against blues. Like there's all this type of stuff that like designers just don't really think about because they just draw something cool that's usually like 1,000 DPI in Photoshop and it looks amazing. But like when you're outputting that in moving video and it's getting compressed and set to Netflix or Hulu, whoever it may be, like there's all these extreme limitations, not to mention it's going through the texture artist process and like all this stuff, you know, that's going to ultimately change in little increments your design all the way down the pipeline. That affect that.
Some of the design patterns that that affects people's eyes. Like there's certain things that our eyes don't pick up. For example, there's a meme going around on Facebook or something. I think it was last week I saw it. It said, look at here and then shake your head. And when you shake your head, FU shows up. And
yeah.
So you want to make sure that like kids that are watching this show aren't subliminal messages.
No, and they are, and the thing is they check for that. You know, there's a QC process depending on who your distributor is and your client is. You know, there's a Harding test to make sure that kids aren't seizing out over flashing lights or stuff like that.
What was the movie where they did that? What was it? It was there
was kids vomiting in the theaters and stuff.
It was awesome. What was it?
I forgot what it was.
Was it the Pokemon movie? I think it was.
For kids.
I want to say it was the Pokemon movie. Like one of the ending scenes, or this was recent too, like within the last 10 years. I can't remember. Because I think
I'm not sure that story.
I'll see if I can't find it, but we got Jose back.
Hey Jose, welcome back.
About that. I don't know what happened.
You were dropping mad knowledge.
You're
dropping so much knowledge the internet could not keep up.
He's connected.
So you left
just at me now.
Yeah. So you left off talking about character designs and then the problems that may come up that you have to account for when drawing, and then you cut out. So that's kind of what you left. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's basically, you know, you just got to account for everything that character's going to do down the line. Make sure that they'll be able to like, I mean, with CG, you kind of have to bake that in early on and kind of try to predict what they're going to do. Like if the character comes back in another episode, you know, you kind of have to set all that up early on. With 2D, it's a little, you know, it's a little bit more as you go. From what I found, you know, you just add new expressions, new drawings, new poses. But I mean, yeah, I guess you know, just having a few characters in your portfolio, it's like it's not really going to show if you know, if you could see down the line of what.
What would you suggest be in the portfolio then? If you could say, if they still want to, after listening to this and they still want to go down that route, what would be a good thing to show? I guess you would show, and this can be for Jose and then Jack too. I guess to show potential that they can do this in something, because I don't know if you really probably don't grab students straight out of school. Maybe you do. I'm not sure. But what would be the best thing to show if you want to try to build up a section of your portfolio to show this? Character design, I mean, that is.
Jack,
I mean, I'm not an art director, so I wouldn't be hiring any designers. But there are some things I do know that they look for, and then obviously things I would look for, kind of from the animation side. I mean, obviously you want to have a really good foundation of just drawing and design skills. It doesn't really matter how rough it is. It doesn't really just show that you know what you're talking about and that you know your brain is working. And people like to see construction lines. They like to see how you think. That's obviously the base. But like I mentioned earlier, a lot of the stuff that doesn't get talked about for viz dev and design work is there's a lot of, especially in a CG show, there's a lot of techniques involved. It's a lot of engineering. You got to show that you can draw something consistently and accurately from several different angles. I know everybody who did those turns in college or when you do the little model sheet. I mean, that's a big part of the design phase, because what's going to happen is you're going to send your design to your modeler or overseas, more likely, to an overseas studio, and you got to remember that these guys aren't in your studio. You don't talk to them every day. They're not a direct part of the team, so they don't know what you were going for. They don't know. So the only information they have about how to build this character is what's in your designs and your model sheets. So those got to be like impeccable, because we've hired folks that are just brilliant designers. Just, I mean, the most amazing artwork. But then you get in there and they try to turn a building, orthograph, draw a turntable of a building, and they can't keep it the same size. They got like weird walls that are like sagging in, or like a door that's like not lined up or misplaced. And it doesn't seem like that's a big deal, but that's going to confuse the hell out of, the studio trying to produce this. So, you gotta be consistent and show that you and some of that is really understanding form, especially when it comes to characters, to show that you understand because it's one thing to draw rough and make it look cool from that, but then spin that thing in 3D and, make sure all the angles still look and feel like that character.
That's one of the things. That's one of the things that all my 3D friends say about, especially Rob and Choopy, my Robots and Aliens comic strip. Mm-hmm. They look at me and they're like, "Dude, you have no respect for what we do."
What?
Because Rob and Choopy look pretty good in 2D. You try to bring them into the 3D world, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah. But I mean that's pretty common.
Yeah, for the 2D stuff, yeah.
I mean 2D is what it is. 2D. It's meant to look good from one view, and you can really push it. And almost 100 years now, we've been perfecting how to cheat it and how to push it. So with the advent of CG, and now everybody's got to back up and be like, whoa. Like that's a really hard translation to make a 2D character look.
I still don't know how they ever did Mickey Mouse. When they had
and the Peanuts too.
And the Peanuts too. And we know they had to fake that.
Yeah, they did.
They just said skip it.
But that's that. I mean, that goes to show you though that even Disney went through some learning phases. 3D Mickey has gone through several iterations. Like we've seen quite a few versions of him. Very 3D with like the full-on sculpted snout and ears, all the way to like a more Peanut style kind of semi-flat. So they definitely are experimenting around with.
That's why. Because I was just watching. Because my daughter watches Mickey's Playhouse all the time. Mm-hmm. So all those characters, like Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, Daisy. I'm just like, still don't know how you did that. You ever tried drawing Donald Duck? like in perspective?
That's why people get paid to draw him. But you know how hard it is to draw him just normally?
Yeah.
Not even trying to be fancy. Getting that beak down? Please.
Speaking of that side ADD moment, they redid DuckTales, and I'm really excited to the point where my daughter tells me every time the commercial's on. I think I got too excited one day. I was like, she's like, "Why,
Daddy? Stop jumping on the couch."
So she's like, "Tell me again." So when she says that, then I know she's talking about DuckTales. Tell me again why you like this. Because it's DuckTales. What are you talking about? Why? I was kidding. You don't understand.
Shut up! It's DuckTales.
No,
Charlie's rocking back and forth on the side of the couch, grasping a pillow, talking about DuckTales.
Dude, nostalgia flooded over me instantly. I don't know about you guys, but DuckTales was some innovative, showing at like 4 or 5 o'clock on a normal weekday, because they had so many spin-offs shows from it too.
Did it ever?
Okay, what's the robot duck? I can't remember what the robot duck was.
Roboduck. No,
superhero.
Yes.
Exactly.
There's Darkwing Duck, but you're
Darkwing Duck. I'm talking about the RoboDuck was. I was like, try drawing that thing. I got physically angry.
Gizmo Duck. That's what it is.
Gizmo Duck, and I got in trouble for being that mad about not being able to draw something, and got my like sketch pad and stuff taken away for evening. And she was like, "Why are you over here crying?" Like, my mom got angry with me because I was just upset. It's really hard. It was really hard to draw. But I've been meaning to ask you two, and Jose, you can chime in if you've seen this. What do you think about the new art style? Because every time they reboot, obviously you worked on the Turtles, Jose, but like every time they reboot a classic franchise, the new versions always, change a little bit based off of, the art style they're trying to go for. But it's a very interesting art style based off of where it looks like it in some characters and other characters you could tell is very new, and I feel like it's simplified a little bit before, and maybe that's so it's easier to make episodes. I don't know, because it's weird, right? Has anybody else seen it or know what I'm talking about?
I've seen a few little clips. I haven't watched the show, but I've seen some clips.
Yeah, it's not out yet. I think it like appears like this weekend. Saturday,
yeah, it's coming soon, isn't it?
Like 23rd, I want to say. What's today's date? Today's the 22nd. So maybe it's like the 24th. Yeah, no, it's like actually, yeah. It'll be like, I think it's like tomorrow, like Saturday, like a Saturday morning type deal.
In 5 minutes, Charlie. You're closing the gap real quick.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep on walking back.
He's like, I think it's next week. I think it's tomorrow. I think it's
happening right now.
It's right now. See you later. No, nice. I just thought that was interesting. I don't know how to form the question, but like we know because we talked about the character design. Jose mentioned about it, drawing stuff in a way that like is easy to replicate and for it to show up in future episodes and stuff. And then you look at something like DuckTales, which such a classic. They had a bunch of episodes back in the day and stuff like that. And the new style looks a lot simpler. And I don't know, maybe that's just a progressive animation being us getting smarter, with the simpler design, but still capturing some of the aesthetic. Because it seems like it was like a lot more detailed, back in the day.
Jose, you've been in the trenches. Why simplify?
A lot of times it's just like an aesthetic thing. It's just, you kind of. I mean, I like the look of the new DuckTales. Actually, there's a really cool style. But ever since the animation, there is always about the economy of it and having to animate. So I don't think it's any different than it ever was. But now I think, I don't know, maybe people, like you said, people are just getting smarter with design and with the graphic look of things.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I also think there's just, it's what happens when you are mixing technology and efficiency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a consistency of, because the way that a lot of these 2D animation softwares and these shows are being made, it's kind of more puppeteering than it is frame by frame animation. Back in the day, you'd have to draw a hand here, and if you're just waving your hand back and forth, that might be 12 to 24 frames, depending on how long that hand is going to be there. And then you have a lot of inconsistencies there. Whereas if you draw that hand once, now you can actually take that hand and pass it to someone else while the artist is drawing the pieces of the puppet. You have the animator now that can then just move that arm back and forth, and the efficiency is faster. Like, it's improved. That's what I'm trying to say. The efficiency is improved because now you don't have to go back. You know how hard it is to have a consistent hand move, and sometimes the hand gets bigger, sometimes it gets smaller, and that little pop actually plays with people's eyeballs. So now you have to go back and draw it again or resize it again or do whatever again. Whereas these days, draw it once, animate it, push it on out.
Push it
real good.
I also think, you know, you're saying with tech, it's just like things like Tumblr and Instagram too. I think people are exposed to all kinds of different styles. So now it's all just kind of starting to melt together, and people are discovering artists that, you know, they probably weren't aware of. Like there's a lot of people that know of, you know, a lot of magazine illustrators from the 40s and 50s that are using a lot of that in their work now.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
I don't think they would have found it without the internet.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I pulled it up again just to make sure that I was remembering the right thing, and it's really cool. It's really nice. Pictures of DuckTales.
Yeah, buddy, it's going down. Thanks, Saturday.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I should actually set up a DVD reminder.
I'm gonna wake my daughter up. Get up, Daddy. I'm so tired. Nope, DuckTales time. She'll jump up.
There's another group that I think maybe he was my artist inspiration. I don't know, a little while back. Magnus, what's it, Moeller or something like that? Magnus Moeller?
Wasn't that Jack's artist inspiration?
Was it?
It was. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. All right. I was trying to take credit for it, but I guess that. Yeah. Thanks for ruining that.
We gotta keep the hierarchy here.
I know. But if you I'll share the link with you guys if you guys can share that with the chat room. I don't know why I can't get to the chat.
We will. It's okay.
But we'll also have this link on the show notes. But Magnus works with an animation company called Tumblehead, and I don't know if we'd get in trouble if I played this or shared it. That's why we're going to put the link in the show notes. But this is a really good example of how 2D art translates into 3D, and we take it for granted because especially after watching the who was it, Blue Sky, that did the Peanuts movie?
Yeah.
After watching a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and just seeing the struggles that they had to deal with translating the 2D characters of Charles Schultz to a 3D environment, I watched this and I'm like, oh, that was a lot of work. That was a lot of work. So it's Magnus's The Story of Martin Luther, and it's a interesting educational animation, but dude, it's so well done.
Took me back to Lutheran high school, man.
It explains where all that comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys take a look, vimeo.com/2348. It's the link will be in the show notes.
Yeah. Just type Magnus Moeller, M-O-L-E-R.
Just look at the numbers.
And it's like
and the story of Martin Luther.
Yeah, it's like his main thing, yeah. And he's got a bunch of not tutorials, but little behind the scenes clips of how he designed these characters on Instagram and what went into like the rigging of them, and it's pretty awesome.
It's really cool. And they have some really cool 2D art in there too, animations. If you follow them or if you find them on Vimeo, they have some really cool 2D animations in there too. Gotta stand up for the 2D guys.
Thank you,
Jose. While you're out here just killing it and making moves, are you still doing your comic books and extracurricular art projects?
A little bit.
That look on your face is gonna make me yell at you.
Yeah. I'm still freelancing.
You say yeah.
Landscape coming up. I did an issue of a comic last year after Turtles, in between Turtles and being at Dreamworks. I worked on my own characters, a character that I created when I was like 13, 14.
Nice.
And so, I've been writing, in between times or taking lunch breaks to kind of write a little here and there. And, but I got another Scholastic book coming up.
Oh, look at you.
book coming up, so that's going to be like a few months of freelance work. So it's just a matter of catching those off times and try not to be too burnt out.
So are you mostly contract with all these companies, or are you full-time?
Well, I'm full-time at Dreamworks.
Okay.
Everybody else, it's just contract. So it's just nights, evening, or mornings, evenings, weekends.
Yeah. So then have we gotten to the point of you landing your gig at Dreamworks? We go on so many tangents that I forget where we are in your story.
Yeah, we're right there.
Yeah, so I was at Turtles for 5 years.
Oh,
so seasons 1 through 4, and then since I was freelancing and doing that for pretty much the entire time, I'm just like, all right, gonna take some time off. So it took about 8 months off, saved some money, took about 8 months off, worked on some freelance, worked on my own projects, and then I got an email from Dreamworks. And that was the time to go just back. Yeah,
a casual email.
So they find you.
They click here for your job opportunity.
They're like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?
We hear you're really good with graffiti."
They're like, "Hey, you graffiti. You're an illegal graffiti artist."
So,
but no, I got contacted by a recruiter from there, and
oh, cool.
Check out the job, and it was awesome, and I've been there since.
Nice. Is there anything? Because I know we have to tiptoe.
Yeah,
very carefully with you, and like Jack. Sometimes he just can't talk about it. Is there anything that you've done for Dreamworks that you can talk about?
That's cool.
Showed up for work.
And I drew some stuff.
Did I juice
breaks as I should, and filled out my time cards when I should.
I showed up for work and drew some stuff. Ooh, that might be a show.
Do you use Cintiq? I cannot confirm nor deny whether or not
the use of a Cintiq. But I would like to say I like the product, and it's really good.
Just can't say whether it's the 22 or the 21 UX or
not. We can't even say if it's a Cintiq. It might be one of those off-brand things.
Yeah, proprietary hardware.
Oh, really? That's great, huh? I don't have a Cintiq. I have a monitor that I look at, occasionally drawing.
So you and Jack actually work in the same building.
We do, and I never met him before today.
No. So let me go ahead and set up lunch for you guys tomorrow.
I'm gonna ping him on the little G. I can't confirm whether or not we use Google Gchat or not. I will contact him tomorrow
via our internal.
We have a proprietary communication system
that may or may not communicate.
We may or may not.
I know. Actually, you know what? He may or may not work in the same building as I do.
Dreamworks is a very big company.
He may or may not be in LA.
Yeah.
No, but to be fair, the TV division is creeping on 700 people. So
really,
it's not surprising that I have probably never seen you.
Are you guys bigger than the film?
I don't actually know. I know that's going through some changes. So
the film campus is huge, though.
It is, and it's a lot bigger than it looks. Even I mean, it looks big, but it's even bigger than it looks. There's like some weird like underground basements and like tunnels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's like a sound studio that's in like a bunker, and then there's like a tunnel that goes under the LA River and takes you to like it's weird.
Oh my god!
It's big.
Wait, they built a tunnel under the LA River?
Well, okay, that's
you can't confirm or deny.
No, that's a myth. So So the land that the DreamWorks campus is built on is it's ex-military land, because before that was all developed, it was all just like military housing and whatever. So there's rumors that part of the campus was built, before DreamWorks, because DreamWorks built it out to what they wanted. But part of what the original stuff is connected to other buildings elsewhere in Glendale via tunnels. That's what they claim.
The escape hatch.
Yeah, that's what they claim. I don't know if that's true.
I kind of want to dig deeper into this, but I'm going to.
You should. It's probably tons of its stuff online.
Yeah, I'm going to find like schematics and stuff, and one day I'm just going to walk by your
then we could do a talent job.
Charlie, how did you get in here? Well, took the tunnel.
Well, you see, I got off on the 5, and there's a.
Then we can do.
Hatch. There's just a hatch.
There's a hatch. Had a D on it.
And I came out in the sound booth.
Drop some good tracks.
Yeah. Area 51 style fencing and cards.
They just call it Daria 51. Sorry.
It's just cows.
Just cows.
So Jose, you may or may not have been working at DreamWorks for how long now?
Almost a year. Probably in about another month it'll be a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're digging it?
Digging it. Digging it. An awesome crew.
Yeah.
May or may not have a crew, actually.
It's just you. It's just you.
Just you.
So blink twice if you are on the new Star Wars. His eyes got wider.
Blink once if they're standing there.
That's not a DreamWorks property, so I'm pretty sure.
It would have been super impressive if he was working on it.
Blinking twice.
Yo, come on. Yo, Jack, there was another question before we forget. There was another question, right? From
there was let's see.
Matt, I think.
Matt, yes. Matt Skonecki says, hey, Jose, do you know Rex Sheen or Ryan Cousins? They're former students of mine. They worked at Nickelodeon.
I do not. Sorry.
Sorry, Matt. Too big.
Yeah.
Listen. They take Jose, they put him in a dark room.
May or may not.
He may or may not. He might not be able to answer that. And
yeah.
Legalese. I gotta call the lawyers first. See what I can say.
He can neither confirm nor deny that you should call their parents.
Let me make sure I got all Atsies, because
he's probably been going crazy right now.
Yeah.
This is a turtle guy.
So Dave, Dave Atsy.
Is this the turtle guy? Yeah, this is
Dave Atsy.
I like turtles.
Dave, I like turtles Atsy.
This is the turtle guy.
I made a picture of that kid with a bandana, with a turtle bandana.
Yeah, that's Dave.
Like somewhere on my Facebook.
I think we got all his main ones, though. He wants to know if you've seen the designs for Raph in Mutant Apocalypse. He's buff as a $, and he has a beard.
Yo, I just want to know, what's the $sign mean?
Money.
He's buff as money?
Buff as money.
A $.
Oh, he has a buff ass?
No, Charlie, go read the comment.
Well, you said a $sign, so I'm just assuming
it's for ass, Charlie.
I said that. That's what I just said.
Yes, but he doesn't have a buff ass.
Oh, well.
He is buff.
Or
anyway.
does he does have
anyway.
Or does he?
Or does he?
We cannot confirm nor deny whether or not Raph has a buff ass.
Say about that. I saw the episode. They had a screening for all like Turtles employees, past and present. Well, pretty much past, I think now. It's kind of a reunion. Those were the most amazing episodes of Turtles I've ever seen, and they're gonna air tomorrow. But there's 3 episodes that were cut together almost like a movie. We screened it in a theater, and There's supposed to be the last 3 episodes of the series.
Oh, really?
But they kind of switched it with the Halloween episodes. So the Halloween episodes were supposed to air, and then these 3.
And then the prequels.
But no, it was great. You know,
that's awesome.
If you love post-apocalyptic stuff,
I think I've seen that commercial. Doesn't like Raphael have like a beard?
Yeah, he has a beard.
I did see that commercial. I did see the commercial. Okay.
Dave,
when he said
done talking about
he said Raph, you know,
and I'm not still focused on dollar sign.
And I'm not thinking
like,
and I'm not thinking Raph
ass.
like I'm just not using his nickname, and I'm like, okay. And it didn't get put together until you said something.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it was just brilliant. My mind was blown. Like I'm jealous that I left before I got to work on that. They did an amazing job.
Yeah. It looks so different from what they've done before. It just feels amped up, you know? Everything just feels like it feels big.
Do you guys get as upset about cartoon reboots as you do movies? Not necessarily movies, like cartoon movies, but like, you know how they brought 21 Jump Street back? They did Chips. They did Dukes of Hazzard, right? Does it upset you guys as much?
No, not
for
me.
Like these Ninja Turtle reboots and the DuckTales reboots?
It's a little better when they're cartoons. It's not like they're gonna scarily mess it up. Like maybe because it's a cartoon, you know. But I'm trying to think if has there been a reboot that's like from a cartoon that is bad.
I mean, the new Powerpuff Girls is not great.
Is it out? Is it out? Because somebody told me about that today. Tyrus told me about that today. There's an uproar about one of the Black Powerpuff Girl or something. They said they're like protests. They said that she's too sassy or something.
Oh my god!
And it's supposed to be, and the dad's supposed to be. She's supposed to be the daughter of the dad, even though the dad left her on the island for a bunch of years or something. Like people are getting too like. People are getting too like. I laugh too. People are getting too triggered, like for no reason.
Yeah.
But is it like not that good in general as a show? Have you seen it yet?
I've seen some clips, and I think it's lost something for sure. But I mean, to the original question, I try not to get upset about reboots in general. I mean, I think I'm not going to stop anybody from putting out content and trying to, you know.
Sure.
If they're using nostalgia as their marketing ploy, I can't really blame them. I will say I think it tends to be less offensive with TV shows, animated or otherwise, just because I think with a TV show you have more time to flesh it out and to make it something new. It can start off as, you know, being a throwback to whatever you want it to be, but then you've got a lot of episodes to kind of explore other things and make it something new. Whereas a film, you're doing probably just one, maybe 87 if you're Marvel, but you're probably doing just one, and so you know you got to throw all your chips in that movie, and so you don't want to risk it too much. So I think movies tend to they try to be too cautious and too true to the original material, but also try to like do something new, and people tend to get upset about that. I don't find that happens as much with TV stuff.
What do you think, Jose?
I don't get upset by it. I mean, unless it comes at the expense of something that's good. You know, if they cancel one version of it, lay all those people off in order to do it. But other than that, I mean, if the originals exist, then you know.
That's the one thing that does bother me is when people are like, "This ruined my childhood." It's like, no, that original stuff still exists. Like,
yeah, your parents ruined your childhood. Don't blame. Don't blame a cartoon for you having a weak childhood, dude. Come on.
We got so much of that, and I think, you know,
so much of that.
it was, I didn't take it to heart, you know, because there's people just like, I wish your family or everybody that works on the show, their families get cancer. And you know, like, harsh stuff. It's like,
people say the worst stuff,
you know, but after a while, it's just like, you know, they're just shouting into the wind.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know me. They don't know that everybody there loves what we're working on. They love what we do. We, you know, I mean, we worked hard to make it better than, you know, we tried to go above and beyond what was asked of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody on the crew. And, you know, sometimes you can only do so much. We talk about budgets and deadlines and things of that nature. So, you know, but we try to push it.
For me, I think as long as I agree with Jack. Like TV has, I wouldn't say so much leeway, but they have so much more potential to set up a really good story.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I was watching the Emmys last weekend, and there's so much good content coming from, you know, the streaming providers and TV. Like TV is taking over, and they don't care who they're pissing off.
Yeah,
they're like, wait, you might go to the theater and catch a good Marvel flick for 2 hours, but then they hit you with like, here's Game of Thrones to make you forget that those 2 hours just happened.
And each episode's an hour, so it's almost a movie. Like
and the quality is the same.
Yeah. That you couldn't do that, you know, when I was a kid, or even 10 years ago. You couldn't.
Yeah, true.
I mean, the budget for a Game of Thrones episode is more than most movies, and it's just unreal. Like the production value on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when they talk about, like, with the later episodes, or when they talk about like, we can't do this or that because of the budget, you're just like, what you know, like it's already a crazy budget. Like, you know, why not go that extra mile? Sometimes?
Just go for it. If it's that good, you're gonna make your money.
Yeah.
That's funny. But then again, like with the movie reboots, when the movie industry reaches into the old TV shows and tries to bring that up as a movie, for example, it depends. It's a hit or miss. For example, 21 Jump Street was hilarious.
Yeah, I was
Chips was a bag of dog poo.
Really?
It was horrible.
I loved Chips when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. All my white friends want me to be Punched to their job. Every one of them.
I thought I was Punched. I had a little motorcycle.
Oh, yeah, dude.
A little motorcycle. I used to pretend that I was Punched.
I had a pair of tight khakis.
And some high boots.
I don't know how they ever ran in those things.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into.
Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come. This or that. This or that. This or that. This or that.
Jose Garibaldi from Chicago, currently unable to confirm nor deny his existence at DreamWorks TV. My friend, this or that. Or that or that. This first one is this or that or that or that.
Or the other.
Ralph, Leo, Donnie, or Mike?
Man. It changes. But I think consistently, Donnie.
Nice.
CG or 2D?
2D. I'm gonna stick with.
Yeah,
like,
God, I knew we were here. I knew. Yeah. This goes kind of with your work history. Would you rather have focused work or be multi-purpose?
Multi-purpose.
Yeah. It helps a day fly by.
What was that?
It helps a day fly by. Oh, we losing you?
Okay, I can hear you now.
We can neither confirm nor deny the fact that we're losing you. Yeah, all I said was multi-purpose days help the days fly by.
Yeah, it's that exploration too. Just like, I don't know, it's like you're a little kid with just, you know, on a sugar buzz or something. You're just like, okay, I'm work on this. And, but I'm trying to get more focused, and I think that kind of makes you stronger in pretty much anything, you know. Like even just doing characters for a long time makes me stronger at like props or backgrounds. Like you just kind of think a little different.
Huh. Maybe we can get Charlie to do a couple characters. Like a mermaid taking her fish for a swim. All right, Mr. Comic Book Guy. I bet I've been at Comic-Cons with tables and stuff since I was 16. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Well played, sir. Saturday morning cartoon time. Would you rather sit and watch Looney Tunes or Disney?
Looney Tunes.
God, dude, we're twinning in a big way.
Looney Tunes are crazy.
Huh?
Like, Disney always just seemed too like tame when I was a kid. It was just like, okay. I mean, I like the shorts, the Disney shorts, but it's the Looney Tunes. Like they were just crazy.
They were loony.
They were loony. All right, Tom or Jerry?
Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah,
Jerry was a pimp. He'd take that shovel to the head and be like, whatever, son. All right, my last one. I'm imagining baby Jose sitting there with his sketchbook. He's however old you were when Saturday morning cartoons were happening, if you are that old.
Yeah.
Schoolhouse Rock or Picture Pages?
Oh, yeah. I think I saw Picture Pages before Schoolhouse Rock. I think
you're right.
The Schoolhouse Rock stuff. I don't know. I can't tell. They're probably around the same era.
Yeah.
Picture Pages. Stuff that's been ruined.
Your internet got choppy for 1 second. What was your answer?
The price. Schoolhouse Rock. I'll change it.
No, don't change it. Damn it.
Picture Pages.
I was gonna say Picture Pages in light of all the recent allegations.
That you can't. I mean, he made stupid mistakes. He hasn't been charged for them, but he's made stupid mistakes. You can't. I mean, I guess you can try, but the good things that he did, we can't forget about that.
You ruined my childhood.
Yeah. Let me tell you about Picture Pages. I used to watch Picture Pages every time it was on, but we were too poor to get the Picture Pages book and the little B marker. So I would draw my own damn Picture Pages.
Yeah. And then I heard it didn't make the noise either. So maybe because the Picture Pages pen didn't really make that noise. That was fake.
Yeah, which was disheartening. Even now, I'll be sitting drawing on a Cintiq, going do 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 do.
When's that tech coming to the Apple Pencil?
How about it? There is this one what is it? It's a storyboarder. Jack, have you started playing with that yet?
I downloaded it. I haven't played with it yet. Because I'm busy.
Active, Jack. Active.
That's true. I'm active.
I started playing with it, and it does give you like the just the slightest hint of music when you're drawing.
Shut up.
Only when you're drawing. And it might just be me. Maybe
you're hallucinating.
Maybe there's a song in my heart that I'm hearing when I'm drawing, but
go like draw line noises.
People that hear music when they look, when they see color, I think.
That's like a real disorder or
that's crazy.
Feature rather.
Reverse. They see color when they hear music.
I think it's that way, yeah.
Huh.
It could be the reverse. You hear music when you see something being drawn.
Yeah, could you imagine someone holds up a coloring book and then, like in your brain, beatboxing starts happening?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be real hard to focus.
Let's go.
Real hard to focus.
All right. So that was this or that. So that means it's time for
Charlie's favorite. Charlie loves this section.
Chicago.
Hell yeah. Today, my friends, we're going to be taking a look. I'm going to try to skip past the somewhat bad ones. Chris Guest Artist. If you go to Instagram.com/Chris Guest Artist.
He's a guest artist.
He is, and this is all traditional. This is a watercolor. Look at the tattoos on this thing.
That's sexy.
I mean, earlier we were talking about it being tougher drawing girls than it is guys. He doesn't have that problem. This dude is.
Sorry.
Go ahead. What were you saying?
I would say those tattoos you don't want to do as a character designer.
Yeah,
These are amazing.
Yeah, so this dude, he had a video in here. Here's his work. He's just loving on his own work. Look at he there is this video that he has where he's actually painting something. Here we go. I don't know how long this is. Well, it can only be 1 minute, but this dude just throws down paint and it's amazing. This stuff blows my mind. And I found him because I was stalking my I forget what her name is, but that girl that does this type of drawing in Photoshop. I was stalking her and he popped up and I was like, come on, dude. And he just started putting paint down. That blows my mind. Oh, here's I was gonna say a Batgirl, but it's more of a plastic party. But yeah, he's look at all the details in his tattoos.
Yeah, he goes nuts with those tattoos.
This is apparently him just been like, look, I paint pretty. Here's his pieces, all his paintings outside. Look at this one here, the one all the way on the far right. All of these like girls are wrapped in plastic.
That's a weird fetish.
It might be.
Yo,
there's an elephant. This kid is bananas.
Yeah, he's really good.
Cool.
So yeah, Instagram.com/Chris guest artist. Oh, here's a dude. He finally had a dude. It's probably a girl with one of those Groucho Marx glasses on. Anyway, give him a look. Dude is bananas. Charlington?
Oh, I'm so torn. I have.
Yeah. So many, so amazing.
Yo, I'm telling you, I found some. I have like reconnected
I have some
with my
doozies
with Twitter. Because I've been on Instagram a lot and pictures stuff like that, but I've got on Twitter and I found a lot of different things. You guys will like, you know. One, I found my old sketchbooks. I started drawing again.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Nice.
With the colored paper, you know. So and it's an old one too. It's like marker stuff.
Look at you doing
a bunch of other stuff in here. You know. What else we got here?
A little hidden side.
Old graffiti stuff.
All I'm gonna say is, Charlie, that CG stuff and all that 3D stuff is fine, but we are one.
It's a monkey.
We are one.
It's a monkey.
One sun. What is that? The sun flare away from not having electricity. We're gonna have to go all the way back to paper and pencil.
It's a monkey with wings and he's hairy.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. So I found this, you know, because I always like the sketchbooks with the colored paper.
So Charlie's artist.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you trying to inspire us with yourself?
You like this? No, I'm not. But like, you know, when you find something, you're like, oh, I thought I lost this forever. Yep. And I just got this book and I just started because I think this is back when I first started EA, and then like all the artists there were buying books like this. And then, you know, you have the Copic markers, you have your white pencil, and it just looks different on every page. So it makes you want to draw through the different books just to get to the reds, you know, because that's going to look amazing once you start, you know, or whatever. So I thought this was only fitting to talk about a sketchbook. And it's really hard to draw on a train. So, but anyway, but because of that, I've been also looking on Twitter a lot and all the different hashtags and stuff like that. And there's kind of a movement where it's like hashtag Latino artist, hashtag drawing while black, hashtag like a bunch of these things. And you click on them and they're amazing. there's like 50 amazing artists that you're like, oh, missed it. How can I never seen this person? So with that, I found a different one, not from Instagram, not from any of those. It's from good old ArtStation, because sometimes, you know, you have and let me share my screen. Sometimes you have a artist that catch your eye and you're like, there's something more to this. And I think this is on the level of like the type of stuff we all like when we talk about Moonbot Studios and these other places. So I did a little stalking.
Moonbot for the win.
And I found this guy now.
Yes. He was on my list to share. You son of a... You son of a...
Yes, I knew somebody was gonna had seen this one.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I got a little bit of a story to tell about this guy. This
good. I knew it. So I saw this, Jack, this week. I saw this,
mm-hmm.
and I watched this, and I was like, it's environment, and I was like, wait a minute, this got some compositing, some like painted background. I love it. What is this? So then he's a viz dev, and he's at Passion Pictures. I'm like, oh, he zoomed in, and I was like, wait a minute, what is that? There's something there. What is it? What is it? What is that? I'm like, that's cool.
It's an old Green Lantern.
That's cool. He's coming at me. Wait a minute. Wait for it. Oh, snap. Oh.
Whoa.
Blood splatter.
What?
And then the random like military helicopters into the distance. Love this dude. So much story in that like quick, and that's all it is. That's it. I was like, oh, this is great, you know? And I just zoom in, and it just loops, and it just loops. You made a looping animation, anyway. So I had to learn about it, right? So you scroll down. The best thing about ArtStation, you scroll down. Oh, and there's this cool black and white version. You know, like you can see more of it. You can see this cutout, and I was like, yo. And I was like, wait a minute, what 3D program is that? I was like, oh yeah, that's 3D Code, sweet. So this is actually 3D that he did his the gas station stuff in and painted over it. And then here it shows, you know, the turning it in 3D space, just seeing how he set up the scene. I'm like, I love behind the scenes stuff. Now, this wasn't enough because obviously right now at work, this is my background because it made my background. I use my background as like art gallery, and you have to be really good to get on my background at work for me to stare at you for like a month. So let's show you some other of his stuff. Look at this. Check this out.
I'm about to blow you up, Charlie.
Yeah, you about to blow me up? Mm-hmm. Oh, dang. Look at this. I love this. But then I was like, okay, cool. This guy, I need to learn more about this guy because the stuff he's doing.
I'm gonna tell you some stuff about this guy.
It's awesome. And then I went to his website where he works also, and I found that.
He works at Dreamworks TV on the second floor.
So here, let me get it.
Oh, Charlie.
Start. You got. I want to hear this. I want to hear
All
this. Right. Go. While I'm showing this. And I found the studio he works at. And the studio he works at looks amazing too. Go.
So the studio he works on, Salon Alpine. They just put out this great app called Old Man
Journey
that I've been playing. I've been playing nonstop, and I told Carlos to download it.
So you have played it, okay?
Yeah, I played the whole damn thing.
Okay.
It's not okay. It's not that hard to get through. It's not really like a super intensive play. It's an experience. He art directed it, and God, the animation and the viz dev in this is stunning. And they've got these little semi-animated cutscenes. It's just really beautiful work.
Yeah,
but
oh my gosh!
Hang on, man.
Keep going.
I'm gonna let you finish with your I'm gonna Kanye you. I'm gonna let you finish with your display of this artist. But if anyone's interested in finding out more about this artist, go to Sketch Zone episode 106, Jack's Artist Inspiration.
Is this yours?
I already brought this dude up, man.
Really?
Yeah, I did. But keep going, because he's got new stuff.
Oh, really? No, you brought this dude up?
He's got new stuff. Go ahead.
I didn't see. I'm trying.
No, he's got a lot of new stuff. Because
I don't even see something that I remember from before.
Well, go to 106.
Look at Tony the Tiger. That rough ass Tony the Tiger looking.
I may have not shown like his art station. He's got a ton of pages. I think I showed his Instagram.
So I got this other backup artist.
Here we go.
That's from Korea.
Oh, you're so dumb.
And the only reason why I wanted to show this one because
you knew I was about to blow you up.
You was coming. Yes, something. So I had to have a backup. This dude has amazing style. His name is Sakuro. You're not gonna get me, Jack. Great art. But look what he did with The Simpsons. Look at this guy. He made The Simpsons look.
Well, that's creepy, man.
Look at this.
What the hell?
Here's version of Bart, right? Watch.
Bart's legs look like.
Then look at Millhouse.
Oh my God.
Look at Millhouse. Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
I don't know about this.
Look, watch what he does to Lisa. He makes it look like a pot. Look at me.
Oh man!
Oh my God! She's not even wearing a shirt.
What happened to Millhouse?
Dress, son.
I mean, not Millhouse. What's the kid? What's that kid's name? The eraser eating kid?
Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph.
He still looks like you don't know where he's at. Look at this. Look at this.
This is some kind of weird stuff, man.
So great. Great.
Look. It just keeps growing. It like burning. Okay. Yeah, it tastes like burning. That's what it is.
This dude's awesome. I showed this and people were like, why? And then he did this really cool. I'm into soccer. So he did this really cool, soccer treatments with soccer players. I like his style though. He did this weird big nose, like
it is weird.
Like it's cool. It's like very Korean art, anime mixed with like. I like. Look, it's got a cool drawing style too. Like the way he colors stuff. Look how thick that line is. It's just like it's really cool stuff here. And then his site, and then his website is like he does like artist showings and like these other little, I forget what these are called. These little miniature like paper.
Yeah, what are
paper things? What are they? I can't remember what they call them. Dave Pasciuto's gonna yell at me because I should know what this is because he loves this stuff. But like all his like artist showings are really cool. his website is like, this dude's active, as we call it, you know. Oh yeah, the other thing was this creepy lemon brand he was doing. Where is it at? But then it shows his drawings and stuff too.
That one drawing of the guy painting up on top looks really cool.
Where you see it? Which one?
All the way up to the top.
Oh, here? This one? Pipe in both? Yeah.
Yeah, that one looked funny.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of like, I don't know if it's like editorial stuff, you know. It's his take on Norman Rockwell's The Music Man.
Yeah. So good.
Look at this. See? I love the noses. Like, he was emphasis.
They all got alcoholic noses.
Yeah, right. And then he did last thing, and I'm done. He did this other lemon brand or something like this, like men's, like I forget what it was called. It's some kind of brand ID or whatever, but like it's with like lemons. That's not it. Where is that? It's like the businessman, but they're like lemon. There they are. He's right here. Keeps changing. What's going on with the website?
This is not. This is not good for anyone that hates clowns.
Yeah, look at
that.
Look at that.
That's creepy.
It's creepy.
This is lemons and clowns.
It's a Hugo
It's just
Boss.
like a Hugo Boss advertisement. Like, what the hell?
I love this dude's style. All of them have the weird same smile, but it looks slightly different.
What kind of dreams does this dude have?
This is like deep in an artist's mind. Like he just thinks of some off the wall stuff.
Yeah,
he got some bad weed.
Yeah,
or
good.
Exactly what happened.
He's one of those dudes that just has a book.
No, it wasn't good.
Can you imagine this stuff animated and it blinking?
No, it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
And you know what? His website's just as weird because right now it's loading pictures by itself. Like I'm not doing anything. I can't figure out the design or the flow of the site at all.
Doesn't matter.
So I'm just letting it. It's doing it itself right now. I never even seen this before. This is a weird hybrid loading screen, but it's showing off his artwork too, because it's great.
It's pretty funny.
Like, so yeah, there you go. It's my artist inspiration.
Nope. Don't catch me doing that.
All right. Here we go. All right. Since we've been talking about 2D to 3D translation,
and
this is a little bit of an extra I got here. This is Andrea Blastic. He's actually fairly well known, but he actually came to Dreamworks and did a little chat. So I've got some photos of him demoing stuff. So he's a maquette sculptor. He's worked for Disney and Pixar and Blue Sky and
everywhere.
Pretty much everywhere. I mean, he's
Trump.
Hey, is maquette sculpt? Is that still a major thing?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a lot, you know, more likely you're going to get some concept guy who's just going to bust something out, either in drawing or, you know, in ZBrush something real quick. But he still does it, and he gets, you know, he's well enough known that he gets pulled in and requested by places. They pulled him in for, he was telling a story that they pulled him in and they had him design the character, a maquette for the Emoji Movie, and he's like, "Are you for real? It's a circle." So, but he did it, and they paid pretty well apparently. So, yeah, I mean, it's just good old fashioned, good quality sculpting. He keeps it pretty rough, kind of loose, sculpty style stuff, which I like. He doesn't overly finesse it.
Seems like he does CG sculpting too, so I'm gonna see some of those.
He doesn't. As far as I know, he doesn't really.
He just says it, so they still. Freelance sculptor, designer, CG sculptor.
Look at this. I wanted to point out that today.
That is awesome.
Today, both Charlie and I tried to jack Jack's previous
You sure did.
artist inspirations.
I don't know. I didn't see anything that I've seen before.
Well, you weren't paying attention.
And now, this is the one part of the show I did. I'm just kidding.
So anyway, he came to Dreamworks and he did a little chat. He was just kind of running us through, you know, how he works, his methodology, how quickly he does. Cool. This was just like a little 30 to 40 minute thing, which I would say 25 to 30 minutes of it was talking. So he didn't really actually put that much time into the sculpture. But he busted this out, and I would say total actual sculpture time was like less than 5 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, he was there for 40 minutes messing around with it, but he kept stopping and was talking and then would answer questions and stuff. But this is just kind of showing you how he keeps it rough and kind of really loose just to get, he focuses a lot on like the form and, you know, layers it in almost like muscles. And it was just really, really interesting. Really interesting little chat. And then he actually did, so you can see in the background, he did some stuff for Disney. There's the Sheriff of Nottingham. We were just talking about Robin Hood. Mm-hmm. Some other stuff in there. And then he actually did a class. So you could sign up for the class and he would one-on-one. I think he only took like 12 people. And actually, there's a ton of people on Instagram that have been posting their work. I'll drop a couple of the links.
Yeah.
Most of them are VizDev artists, actually. They've been posting their work. I'll drop it in the show links.
Cool.
So, yeah, that's Andrea Blasic. And he's
beautiful.
Yeah. He takes it, like that sculpture that he did was really cool. Like, it seemed like, is he like taking big clumps and just...
Yeah, it was really interesting. It wasn't at all what I expected, because I thought, you know, he was gonna sort of build out the form or whatever and then kind of chip away in detail. But he really was kind of, it felt more like painting. He would just like kind of tear off things and slap it on, and here's a muscle here and here's a pant leg here, and it was very very gestural, which I was surprised and I kind of inspired by, because I was looking at his stuff closer and I'm like, even your finished stuff is still pretty rough. You know, he doesn't go in there and like polish it all perfectly clean with sharp edges.
Yeah, so like, how did they because like some of the other stuff he had, like that fish one he had on his portfolio seemed a little more cleaner. Like, did somebody else clean it up, or is that how he keeps it? Like,
no, I think it depends. Yeah, it depends on the job it's for and the client and how finished they want it. I think especially now when he's brought on for gigs that are mostly just concept stuff, he just kind of roughs it in. But you know, something that's going to be used more for a final maquette or a stop motion company, or you know, something for promotional purposes, he's definitely going to finish it out more.
Cool part about it, you can still have somebody like that do it and still do like photogrammetry type deal and still get a 3D model that you can give off to a modeler to.
Yeah.
On top of nowadays, they really want to keep that type of guy around still, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
You can still do it really easy because everything's gonna be on like a turntable anyway. Set up your photo rig and then just take all those pictures, send it into Aegis-Soft or reality capture, and you got yourself a really high res model. But hey, it's a concept, so it's cool.
Yeah.
And our friends over at CG Cookie, they actually have a bunch of training videos on how to do clay.
They send you a box of clay and tools. Awesome.
Boom.
Yeah, if you want it, they'll get you started and they'll give you a, what do they call it? It's a starter pack basically. It has the clay in it, has the tools, and then the sculpting instructor, she's amazing over there. So like, if you want to do this stuff, go over there. It's inexpensive. CG Cookie's known for giving really good bargains for the content that you get. So check it out. I was impressed with the box they put together. They're sending out to people.
Jose, is there anyone that you would like to share with us?
Yeah. An old friend of mine who I worked with at the software place in Chicago. Let me get my browser to open back up. Here we go. But he's an amazing artist, and he taught me a whole lot in the beginning. And his name's Corey Barba. He lives in near San Diego. Does a lot of game game art for and stuff. The SpongeBob comics.
Sick.
Really, really awesome stuff. Really cool paintings too.
That's cool.
Yo,
So inappropriate. So hilarious.
Yeah, like, I didn't get it because it's so cartoony until oh, it's like a
Yoda giving someone a stank eye.
He'll drop that knowledge.
Yoda Moon.
He'll drop that backwards knowledge on her.
Yeah, dude, crazy with his puns. But yeah, he's a super amazing artist.
I love the texture of this one.
Yeah, you know, I used to sit next to him at work, so we just sit there and try to like just outdo each other every day, and come up with, you know, our best work that we could do.
That's awesome.
Oh,
so funny.
That's me.
So cool.
Yeah, cool style.
Yeah. So he's really good.
Corey Barba.
Awesome. Funny guy too.
Is that his website? Softbrightengine.com?
So softbrightengine.com is his website.
Okay, cool. That is really funny stuff. What's the Operation game?
Oh, the Operation. Let me get a share again. That might have been for Hasbro. He was freelancing for the company that I was working for.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Barrel of Monkeys too. Yeah, I worked with him on this project actually, on Barrel of Monkeys.
Yeah. Because my fun prompt, not last week but the week before, had this very game in it.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was the face. The face was of the wrestler Sting, and it was a sting operation in a post office.
An operation in a post office.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So that was Corey Barba. All right. And with that, my friends, thank you, Jose, for
thanks.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for supporting. Thanks for supporting Midway. That's huge.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, neither can I. But no, it's everyone is putting in so much work. Especially Ryan. Ryan is bananas, but
going in.
But yeah, congratulations on all the success you're finding in LA, and
thank you.
Confirming nor denying the Dreamworks thing.
The existence of work.
You can neither confirm nor deny your success at Dreamworks TV.
I'm just waiting on the moment to see my dog's over here telling me not to spill any
the dog's like, yo, shut up.
Don't lose it. I need that food money. He'll get fired.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. Hopefully soon we'll be able to announce or confirm or deny.
We'll have you back on. We'll have a release party geek session.
Yes, that's awesome. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, thanks, man.
With that being said, if people are looking for your work online, where can they find it?
Best place right now is Instagram. If you go to instagram.com/Clupac, CLUEPAC, or you can just go to type in www.clupac.com, and it'll go straight to that Instagram page.
Nice.
And my homepage is JoseGaribaldi.com, first last name.com. I don't update that one as often as my Instagram, but that's got a lot of my older work on it, a lot of archives, blog archives and stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Charlie, if people are looking for you, where can they find you?
You can find me on my personal website, which is cargogalactic.com/Charlie Williams. You can find me on Instagram, which is CharlieBW3, Twitter, CBW3, Facebook, artist page is CharlieBW3, and almighty Pinterest, CharlieBW3. Check it out. Get it in your life.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Hey, Jack.
Yeah, I am at sketchbookjack.com and sketchbookjack on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest.
I'm Carlos. You can find me at coconutjustice.com and Coconut Justice everywhere else: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Behance. This is Sketch Zone. Go to sketch.zone and you can find us. We have the links to absolutely everywhere out there.
Everywhere.
If you go to, let's say you go to instagram.com/sketchzonepodcast, you will see that the fun prompt of the week is a mermaid taking her pet fish on a swim. And then you'll be able to share your drawings with us, and then we'll pick a handful of them and show them on the show. I think that's it. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends. We're trying to get a lot more people like Jose on the show. Next week, we have Ombre McSteez. Speaking of 2D artists, he's coming to hang out with us. And I emailed him again a couple days ago, just making sure that it was him and that he was really sure that he was going to come on the show. Because last time I announced a doozy, not last time, but one of the times I was super excited and then it never worked out. But we'll fix that one too. Anyway. That's it for us, everyone. Have a wonderful week.
See you guys.